Hello, Lorenzo here, episode 6 of Galileo Contracting, where once again we head for Iota. Right, I say once again, but really it's just the second time. All the other episodes were rescue missions of rescue missions. So what we're going to do today is we're going to land, Jebediah is going to put a flag, and we're going to attempt some targeted temperature surveys. Want more details? Check out the last episode. We talked about it at length there. Here we go, SAS on, boosters primed, off we go. As usual, the first order of business is to get the pointy end of this rocket into space, preferably with the rear end still attached. And then we can work on getting ourselves to Iota. Now I do have enough funds, if only just, to unlock maneuver nodes, but I won't. Because even though if we complete these contracts, we get a lot more funds, so it should be moot. Um, the very real possibility remains that we won't, and that there will be explosions and misery and another rescue mission required. So, in the last episode I asked you to build probes to explore Seti, that other moon. I'm gonna stick by that request, but if after this mission we end up requiring another rescue, that could get blown out of the water. Anyway, back to the real world. The solid fuel boosters have almost run their course. They will of course be jettisoned into the ocean. We have initiated our turn so they won't crash into the space center. Also, we've done that because that's the direction we want to be heading in. Alright, what kind of engine are we using here? We have a skipper, quite on the bottom of still quite a heavy stack, so our acceleration here is less than stellar. So I'm happy I didn't pitch over more than I did, because I'm gonna have to use that upwards momentum for a little bit more. I feel I'm accelerating, but only just barely pulling away from Gale's gravitational pull there. Nevertheless, we are about 30 kilometers. That's almost halfway to space. And of course, in this Galileo solar system, the starting planet is quite small, similar to Kerbin, and that will facilitate us getting into orbit in a timely manner. Currently just breaking the arbitrary 800 meters per second barrier. That has been broken with no adverse consequences at all, leading us to believe there is no speed limit. Cool. We're breaching the 45 kilometer margin now, and I'm running out of things to say about this ascent. So let's talk about Iota. Yeah, I haven't really got anything. It's a moon. It hasn't got air. We've been there. Actually, Valentina has lived there for the better part of a month. So I think we can fairly conclusively conclude that there are no voracious space monsters over there. We don't know anything of the sort about SETI, so that's why we're gonna send probes. At least if you build me probes, we're gonna send some probes there. Find out if this is a big moon, is it a small moon, is it actually a really big planet, and is Gale the moon? What is going on there? We need to find out, and therefore we need to go there with robots and men and rockets and hopefully a controlled amount of explosions. Alright, this skipper has almost burned its course. We are not quite in orbit yet, but we're pretty well on the way there. Look, there is Iota. We just need to zip around the planet until it rises, and then we can start our burn towards it. At 80 kilometers, poised for a, picture perfect low orbit actually. We want it slightly above 70 kilometers, of course, but not too far, because that would be wasting efficiency. Let's have a peek at the map. Are we actually, that's too far out. Are we actually in an orbit? Just about really. Not the most efficient, it could still be slightly more efficient. Nevertheless, oh look at that, we're ascending. Where's my spaceship? Ooh, I thought, because I didn't hear the engine anymore, it had been cut out. We're in, all my talk about an efficient and nice orbit can be disregarded. This is a horrible orbit. It's a 800 by 50 kilometer orbit. That's not even an orbit. Come on. Anyway, we're going to proceed with our original plan. We're going to time warp until we see Iota rise. Hey, look at that! This is a pretty interesting design here. We put there is like a aerodynamic adapter over the over the shell of the engine, giving it a unique look. I like that. That's Dubrovnik Incorporated that did that. He wrote a interesting manual to go with the ship. I will read that to you in a while. I forgot about that initially. Sorry about that. Anyway, there we have Iota. Let's get that transfer burn on the way first. Then I'll start reading you literature as that. Now, the usual way of eyeballing when it rises might not work when we're at like 800 kilometers altitude. That's a problem because here we see it rises. But would it have also risen? Wait, I'll just alter my course. If I point dead prograde now, that won't work. What I'm trying to say is, look, from here it appears as though Iota is rising because we are going away from the planet. But if we were close to the planet, we'd see it from around here. If we then burn prograde, we burn in that direction. If we burn prograde here, we burn in this direction. That's like almost 90-degree difference, so we won't get there. So what I'm instead gonna do is basically point at Iota, I suppose, and then oh no, shit, it time warped. It shouldn't have done that. Alright, these quick warps are dangerous. Anyway, I'm still gonna try it. I'm just gonna point straight at Iota. I wonder what I need to do to get there. Basically, I need to point down a lot. Yeah, because pointing towards the north. There is the marker. We're gonna do that until our orbit seems to be going in that direction. Oops, that's the engine depleted. Let's fire the next engine. Ooh, this one doesn't have a lot of thrust to weight. That's actually in the description, which makes this the perfect moment to revisit that description. Let's have a look. What did he write for us? Here we go. After hearing about the last long-term space habitation experiment, we have devised a rocket that should be capable of bringing back the Kerbonauts. We would advise launching just after the Kerbonauts leave Iotan sphere of influence as close to the desired inclination as possible. After getting into a stable low orbit, the pilot should use the targeting interface to calculate closest approaches and raise his orbit until he gets a close encounter. Make sure he's aware of ship's low thrust-to-weight ratio so he can plan his maneuvers accordingly. That we were. Our design has only one hatch, so the pilot will have to get out of his seat to let stranded Kerbonauts into his ship. In case the pilot decides to continue the mission and land on Iota, make sure he lets Bob perform his experiments and clean them if necessary. The pilot must be aware of another thing: the return capsule requires precision control to not burn up, which means he must keep it pointed exactly retrograde throughout the entire hypersonic regime. Or, in the words of our test pilot, until the fire thing goes away. Alright, so that means things will get bloody exciting when we start our descent. What do we have here? We have some fuel tanks that are feeding into the center bit, so we have like an emergency reserve amount. Oh dear. I wonder if we're gonna get like... Yeah, this should work, right? We're pointing at Iota. We'll make an orbit happen. Yeah, I reckon this will work. Let's time warp it up a little bit, because otherwise this will take literally forever. Of course not literally forever, because forever isn't even a thing. It's like, it's an expression to begin with, so how are you going to make that literal at all? Yeah, I don't know. Killing the time with literal witticisms. Alright, let's slow down the time warp again. And yeah, this is horrible. Alright, we will proceed to the ascending node and attempt... No landing there. No, we will attempt to fix our orbital trajectory. Alright, we will be orbit relative. And here we go. We have radial positive. That's the icon on the nav ball here. Let's bring up the throttle button. This is making things worse. We need to point the other way. Don't you like how seat of the pants this flying is? We just try and burn, see what the trajectory guys at home say, and then adjust our burns accordingly. We don't ask them in advance, we just do the burn and then make them fix it for us. Alright, we'll chase this marker until our orbit will be intersecting Iota a little bit more. Here we go, we found an approach. Let's see if we can get that close. Yeah, that's good. That's 850 kilometers. It's well, as good as it's gonna get, really. So what do we have? We have on our ship with landing legs. We have experiments. We will save all the experiments for on the surface. How are we doing on fuel? Pretty good. We're doing good on delta V. Can I see my delta V here? Oh, actually, it's not that great. It's like 2.7 kilometers per second. Should be enough for landing and return though. Maybe not for the whoop. Maybe not for the temperature sensors, for the temperature experiments. But you know, we'll see about that when we get there. My time warps are being obstructed by something. Here we go. We're in the Iotan sphere of influence. That's good. There we go. Killing the time warp. Pointing as retrograde. Oh, look at that. Maybe our 900 meters per second of delta V will in fact suffice just fine. Let's see, where is the sun? There it is. We want to actually land on this side. Oh, look at that. This is our temperature scanning. That's all over the place. Actually, no, it's like in 1/4 of the thing. So let's try and land like near at least 2 of these. We don't have to do all of them in one go. That's neat. We'll try and land near one of these temperature scannings. Let's see. Orbit is shrinking. There we go. That should put us somewhere near those. Oh, of course, maybe Iota rotates. I don't know if it rotates. We'll find out now, I suppose. Oh shit, that's a lot of time warp. Stop it. Retrograde. What's our altitude? 31 kilometers. We're at 334 meters per second. That's actually still okay. But that's frightening, really. Yeah. Alright, so we're not gonna make it. Okay, I'm probably gonna want maneuver nodes before I attempt these. Can I target these? Activate navigation. So yeah, okay. First order of business is landing. And we're landing in the dark, which is not great. Do I have like a surface thingy here? Altitude over terrain is yeah, okay. So we can land just fine using our computers. First order of business, landing. Then we will see about maybe passing by one of these temperature sites on our ascent, because they require us to be below 5 kilometers, which is really low, especially if there's a few kilometers of altitude as well. So that's dangerous. Let's just take things one step at a time. Plant a flag here. Let's see, our vertical speed is really low. We can safely crank some time warp. Keep an eye on this altitude gauge here. It's 15 kilometers now. 10 kilometers. There could, of course, just a mountain could happen and go like, boom, there's 8 kilometers fewer altitude now. We're at 7 kilometers. I think 100 meters per second is a good speed for that. Let's deploy the landing gears while we're at it. Is there any lights on this craft? No lights on the craft. Alright, vertical speed is at minus 60 meters per second. Alright, let's put our thing relative to the surface. We're at retrograde orientation. We have to keep an eye on that if we happen to get close to the surface and exhaust our fuel. Alright, let's do another deceleration burn. Our thrust to weight is low. We, the pilot, must take this into account in our burns. We also can't separate the outer tanks, although they're not empty, so we don't want to, because they have the landing legs. Alright, our negative speed is 10 meters per second. 20 meters per second. Of course, the G-force here on Iota isn't that high, but still we're getting frightfully close to the surface. We're not allowed any time warp anymore. That's how close we are. Fortunately, the galaxy is giving off quite a bit of light indeed. Let's do another burn of our many times restartable engine. Actually, in real solar system, I think the lunar descent module has like 40 or 50 restarts, which sounds like a limited amount, but actually I think in a descent like this I'm not restarting it more than 40 or 50 times, so that should be fine. Let's see, we have Minus 20 meters per second, 1500 meters to go. Let's do another restart. Oh, we're so slow actually. We don't need to do this. Our horizontal speed is pretty low at 4 centimeters per second. That should be able to just scuff out once we hit the bottom. Right, I'm just flying on instruments here. We're at 1 kilometer of altitude now. Let's reduce our speed again, 10 meters per second. It's about 35 kph. Should be still survivable, although I'm not sure about the crash durability of this rocket. The horizontal speed is gone, which is good, so there's probably not going to be any unexpected like land peaks cropping up. Alright, that's 700 meters gone. Let's reduce our speed once again. It's very methodical, this dark instrument landing. We're at 500 meters. And our speed, actually my speed can be higher. I'll be comfortable with a higher speed. It doesn't show the slope of the landscape, so it could be like a very steep incline, which I don't know about. We're actually landing in a crater. Okay, if things go wrong, we just punch it. Alright, here we go. 120 meters. I think once we get to like 50 meters, we have to like start fine-tuning. Yeah, let's try and like make a stable descent ratio. We're at minus 2 meters per second. Whoops! I accidentally gave it full throttle. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, one blip of throttle makes it go nice. Nice and stable. 3 blips of throttle. Alright, 1 blip of throttle back. Alright, we're accelerating downward ever so slightly. 1 blip more. Yeah, we're gonna land so slowly. Oh shit, we're going up. Alright, we're just gonna fall now. Oh no, we're actually 0 is like it's 5 meters because the command pod is like here. Alright, we made it, you guys. Amazing. Let's observe the materials bay. Let's get our science done. Alright, whoa, 100 science for this one. That's awesome. Alright. Unfortunately, it's really hard to see where the experiments are. Here's one. Log the temperature. Oh, we already have this one. Of course, Valentina's been here. Alright, that immediately makes it easier because she's spent a month, so she'll have exhausted the science. She only didn't have like a materials bay. So we're here for... Oh no! We're here for planting flags. Let's do that and get out of here. Plant a flag for contracts. That's what it's gonna say. That is what it's gonna say. For contracts. Singular. Alright. Cool, I think that's it. Plant the flag. Yes, we did it. Awesome. The contract guys don't care if Jebediah actually makes it or not. So that's... Well, I was gonna say that's good, but of course that's pretty horrible and inhumane. But, you know, we, the space program, we have gotten our money's worth. Where's the crew hatch? Come on. Come on, don't turn this into like a horror game. We want this guy to be able to re-enter his crew hatch. It's not like he turns around and the crew hatch is gone. No, he's inside. Safe and sound. Alright, how are we on the fuel? Pretty good. There's not a lot of it, but we don't need a lot. Let's try and shoot for this one. This one needs above. So it says navigation set for there, but how does that work? I don't know how that works. Is there may be like a marker, but we have to get off the surface first. Let's get off the surface, as we do. Legs retracted. And alright, we are at 70 meters per second upwards. So yeah, there we go. There is the temperature marker. How far away is that? Pretty far, so we can just punch it. as long as we fly over it, we should be good, because it stipulates we be above 5.4 kilometers. So there we go. Let's aim for this thing a little bit better. This is a hard icon to aim for, actually. Alright, I hope. Let's see, we have to aim a little bit closer to like the North Pole. So let's turn like all the way here. So I want my trajectory line to go over it, obviously. There we go. I think this will do it. Our apoapsis here is 9 kilometers. That's above 5, right? So let's time warp there. Actually, Iota is very tiny. Look at that. You are entering the site. Alright, alright, alright. Where is my thermometer? I should have prepared this. Log thermometer. Yeah, we are. Alright, we will keep it. But I think this, just having done the act, is enough. Yes, we have gathered the data. Alright, that's it. Do we want to above 4 kilometers, above 5, below? Oh, so they're both like good. Okay. All right, let's just try and do this until at least the outer tanks go dry, because we have some velocity to cancel now, obviously, but we can deal with that. Now we are not going to aim this towards the ground, because even though yes, it is technically in that direction, we do want to remain upwardly mobile. All right, we are now pretty much canceling out our previous velocity, and we're making so much money. We're also operating pretty close to the ground at like 7 kilometers, so a stray mountain would screw us over pretty badly. That's something to be aware of. Alright, our trajectory is now turning around. That is good. That is good. We are heading there. We have... What's our... No, we want the vessel. We have 300 meters per second of delta V left in... Yeah, I think that should probably do it. We have 300 meters per second. No, we have 1200 meters per second left in total. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be the last one, because we don't want to get into a situation where we run out of fuel before we get back to Gale. So, there's that. Alright, we'll have done 2 out of 4. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then, entering the area. And then, like, whenever there's like a SETI mission that's coming home, it can maybe like swing by Iota and perform this feat, you know? Here is my thermometer. Override it. Yes, we keep it. Cool. Collecting the survey data. We did it. We did it. Can we do it again for this one? No, fuck no, we can't. We have to like play with orbital dynamics, and we can't do that. It's going to be hard enough to get out of here using this orbit. Is there a target we can point to away from the ground? So I can just establish orbit and then do something, but I want to head that way, and being in orbit doesn't really matter for that. Can I target a star or something? Alright, if I aim like straight up, that's that way. I don't want to aim straight up. I want to aim between straight up and due north. Let's try that. Due north, not straight up. This direction. Yeah, that feels like a pretty good direction to do an escape burn from. My apoapsis is increasing. We're leaving this place. Yes. All right, this seems doable. We will continue our burn in this direction, as it being, what I'm trying to do is like burn along this vector of Iota's course. So I effectively burn retrograde in our joint orbit of... Oh shit, I need to ditch the tanks. There we go. We have 780 meters per second of delta V. Now see, this is perfect. This is what I wanted. Alright. More speed. Get our Gale periapsis is down nice and low. Alright, that's not working. So we are going to time warp until we leave behind Iota. No, don't set it as a target, just time warp there. Oh, we're leaving the site. Awesome. Alrighty then. We are now in a solid orbit of our home world, Gale, and we have 500 meters per second of delta V left. See, we were traveling at about 200, so doing another site would have severely reduced our capabilities for getting home in a effortless and relaxed fashion as we are now. So let's see, 30 kilometers periapsis seems reasonable. I think this is the planet we're heading to. That's in our view now. I wonder if we'll get a sunlit or a dusky descent. Now we will all remember the manufacturer's description of this amazing craft called the Barrel of Booms, which calls for a precision steered approach, which we of course are perfectly capable of doing. Oh shit! This one needs collecting. Can Jebediah do that before we eat Atmo? 40 kilometers? I don't think he can do this. Oh my god. Keep it. No, transmit it. We don't have. No comms devices. Review data. Keep it. Oh shit. Oh, that's a blunder. That's a 100 science point blunder. Can he still not do it? No, it's too dangerous. We could have done it at like 110 kilometers. I could have pulled that off. I'm getting old. Holy shit, I could have pulled that off. Where's my risk-taking attitude? Can I still pull it off? No, I can't still pull it off. Alright, let's fire the engine then to just like ease this descent because my geriatric old bones need to like be cushioned in a gentle cushion of low G re-entries. Oh my god, I'm not getting that old. I'm going skydiving next month. I'm gonna do the course. I want to jump out of airplanes. So yeah, there's my youthful life energy re-established. Very important that. Alright, we are starting to burn up. Let's ditch this one. And we will, yeah, the pilot just needs to keep it pointed straight retrograde. I can't do that for him. Why is this heat shield so weak again? Oh my god, somebody has been using bargain bin heat shields again, haven't they? Oh my god. I hope this bargain bin heat shield is compatible with the parameters of this descent. Fortunately, the only occupied capsule is Jebediah's capsule. Oh shit, that's the other bit of the craft exploding. There's our science points. So even if this container, which contains no crew, explodes, Jebediah could in theory still be alright. Something is heating up like a frightening amount. We can rotate it a little bit so it's out of the hot airflow, maybe spin it, go like that. No, yeah, that seemed to work. A reverse barbecue roll. I don't know which part it is that is cooking. Alright, we're eating air now. We're biting into the incandescent flow. We're at 30 kilometers and decelerating at a couple Gs. We have orbital velocity right now, except we're not at orbital altitudes. We have 2150 meters per second to get rid of, which will happen. Jebediah is doing a good job at keeping the ship pointed in the proper direction. The ablator is almost gone. Oh my god, some enterprising fool also removed the ablator from here, didn't they? Yes, they did. If that's even a thing. Alright, we're at 1500 meters per second. The heat flux should be beginning to abate now because we're quite slow in hypersonic terms. We're still traveling at several times the speed of sound, but you know, who uses sound as a benchmark anymore? We use light, which we're not even like measurably decelerated compared to light. You know, that's but then again, we're not decelerated by light. We're decelerated by plain old matter. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. We are here. The heat shield can be jettisoned, but that sometimes comes back to smack into the ship. So let's not do that until we're like near the ground. The parachutes are almost safe to deploy. We can do so now, which is also the point of jettisoning. How does that happen? Fortunately, nothing bad happened, but I chose to jettison the heat shield and then it exploded. How is that something that's reasonable? Also, do we have just the one parachute? Is that what happened when the heat shield... Oh, this one isn't gonna deploy yet? Or something? I don't know what's up. Did something happen to the parachute? No. I don't know what's up with those um, wonky exploding heat shields. Anyway, yeah, there we are. The second parachute exploding. I was gonna say, like, deploying way late, but on time. Jebediah did really good this mission. He did flag planting as a proper bureaucratic employee, no crazy stunts. He measured the temperature in 2 locations out of 4, and unfortunately for me, but that's really me, not him, he didn't go outside just seconds before re-entry to grab that science paper. I mean, he did his best to be a devoted scientist, but at his core, he's still a daredevil, and that's why he didn't go outside to get the science papers. You see, that's a story and sticking with it. Oh shit! And once again, a time warped collision with the ground. Fortunately, the game has been improved, and that is now fine. All right, let's recover the vessel, and we did get some science from the mission objectives, the last mission, and other things. So we can go ahead and purchase some nodes, perhaps. At least we got some money. So we're gonna purchase maneuver nodes. That's a no-brainer because, oh my god, have we been sorely missing those. Landing, getting us a bigger heat shield, a launch escape system, better parachutes. I don't think we need any of these things. Stabilizers, RCS. RCS would be nice. A landed cannon is also nice for like those double missions. This, we don't need this. Aerodynamics, who needs aerodynamics? Flight, pfuh. Advanced construction, hell no. Oh, we need like a bigger building for this one. Okay, so then it's gonna become the landing. The bigger heat shield and the struts and the parachutes and the stuff. So there are marginal amount of new stuff to play with, and we're gonna be saving up for a new R&D building. How expensive is that one? Way expensive. So we're gonna try and do some big contracts. Actually, could we? We can now do 7 contracts as well. 7 contracts as well. So build me probes, build me stuff like this, like an orbital station around Iota. Why the hell not? Build me the world. And for now, thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.